I'm utilizing the, the one cup technique, as it's commonly referred to. Uh, I like more more in depth. I refer to it as like a transference of properties because that's more of a more accurate description of what it does. Because we're transferring the properties of the item that we're using group select on. And that's how we place things like uh, this capital chic dining table up on a paver that can't normally place up there. So we group select the pillar. So calls it borrowing surface. Yeah. And that is kind of why I try my best to come up with terms that are more like overarching. That being said, I do try to still use like one cup technique because it gives credit to the creator who first published material on the trick, which who was TheLilianGames. So, but yeah, a lot of people mention that they use like the one cup technique, and I'm just like, that's great. That's a great starting point. Now, if we build on that, because there's so much more that you can do, if you understand the one cup technique, you can do a lot more with it. Like the Russian nesting doll that I explained yesterday to make this nonsense. Which I don't think a fair few of you weren't here when I made this. So we can go through that again. But to to show how it's the same as the one cup technique, because it's it's all using group select, and it's all using that transference of properties to achieve our goal, which the end goal is to make this placeable on, building blocks or on a table. But for starters, we need to get something into this slot here that we can group select. And this is why I kind of refer to it as a Russian nesting doll, because We can't place this on a building block, but we can place it on a yardwork terrace. So now we can group select the fence, but we don't want to do that yet. We want to group select this builder's block so that we can place this terrace on top of the builder's block. And now we group select the fence. That will then trick the system into thinking that this builder's block is a fence. So yeah, it's another way you can think of the gourmet or the gourmet bowl and or you know quote unquote one cup technique is as a Jedi mind trick. For those familiar with Star Wars, just you know, this is not a terrace piece. This is a building block. This is not a capital chic cabinet. This is a fence. And yeah, every time that we press group select is when the Jedi mind trick happens. And that's how earlier I got all these Umbraan fences to do the float. Because I connected them to a concrete paver. Then I performed our float. And then I just connected them all up here. Rinse, wash, repeat. But I will definitely admit that it takes a substantial amount of um, it's not a dumb question. It's all good. So this piece, now that we have it made like that, because yeah, so and here's why it's not a dumb question, because I kind of ended a bit too soon. Now that we have this piece made, this is just a tool. that we are going to use for placement purposes. And anytime we want to place this somewhere it's not supposed to go, we group select that crate. And then after we're done placing, we're free to take our tool out so yeah. So yes, it can be freed from your chain of fencing. And yeah, let me back it up a bit. Let me deconstruct this one, because I did go a bit quickly. Yeah, so it involves crate, terrace, fence, and so for starters, group select crate. That allows you to place the terrace attached to the builder's crate. Now the terrace here is just an intermediary that allows the placement of the fence on top. And that allows you to group select the fence up there, which allows for placement into the slot. Yeah. If you're someone that has a Winterlight spread present, I didn't want to do this version because it's nowhere near Christmas, but the process is much simpler because the Winterlight spread present can just be placed up here. And you can just do a simple chain like that. And then you can do it just like that, group select the fence, and then simple chain. But that version is limited to, oh, interesting. That version is limited to people with Winterlight Spread presence until S6 gives us decor trading.